financial or investing advice. Hope all is well with you on today. And I'm actually here. So, yeah, it's been a long time. Yeah. So, Mary Lou, appreciate you. You actually inspired me to go live today. Mary Lou's content creator, she was talking about uh, just pretty much your wins and things like that on today. And I've noticed I haven't went live with you all today, so I apologize for not going live. Been a lot going on in life, but anywho, we're talking about stock market. First of all, go ahead and hit the like button. This is not financial or investing advice. Appreciate you for coming in and hitting that like button. Not financial investment advice. We're going to talk about stock market trends and things like that. News. Hey, what's going on, Susanna? Official J Mia. What's going on? What's going on? Welcome in. Welcome in. Welcome in. Hope all is well with you on today. I am doing fine and dandy like a sweet piece of candy. So we're going to talk about what's going on. So I hope no matter where you are in the world, if you had snow, ice, sleet, rain, whatever, if you in New York, you got $100,000 chip. If you in New York, wherever upstate, y'all got hammered with snow. Hope you're okay. No matter where you are in the world, I hope all is well with you. But a lot of things have been going on right now. A lot of things have been going on in the market. A lot of people try to figure out what's going on in the stock market. So right now, what's going on? First of all, this is not financial investment advice, but what's been going on in the market is you've seen a shift from as far as the crypto and things of that nature. You've seen a pause on those things. However, it does not mean crypto is over. Also, you've seen a pullback from some of the things on the market, and people are wondering why. Because there's a lot of things going on. You have all these, things going on in the market as it relates to people going back and forth with each other. This is, you're not supposed to be here, you are supposed to be, all this stuff going on. Y'all know we're not going to talk about it. But as it relates to that, you have to understand that causes the market to pull back. Also, the people are trying to figure out, do they really trust the market right now? Do they really trust the market? And if you notice, I've talked about it before. I've talked about it since 2021. Gold and silver have been on a rise. I talked to y'all about that in 2021. I told you all that gold and silver would be a major push. I told you all about the silver squeeze in 2021 and what I believed that was going to happen. And we're here with the silver squeeze. So I told you all about those things and what would happen. And we're here. As you notice, silver is over $105 per ounce right now. If you notice that. And I've said this prior before. I have not been wrong. And like I said, unfortunately, this is not financial investment advice, but unfortunately, people are not confident. So understand when silver, hey, what's up? 70, 78. So understand when people are going into the gold and silver, they feel as though, number one, there's a recession. Welcome in. Two, they feel as though there's a situation as it relates to the market as far as the confidence in the dollar. Three, they feel as though there is a push towards EV and things of that nature. Hey, what's up, world? So right now, silver is sitting at $109.82 for the spot price of silver. And you are looking at a yearly increase of over 276%. I've been talking about this since over 2019. Over 5 years, it's up over 313%. So if you've known me for a while, you've noticed I talked about gold and silver. I talked about stocks and crypto and things like that. It's too late to buy into gold and silver. Not financial investment advice, but my opinion is it's not too late, depending on where you are in the world. I believe that it will be a possible slight pullback, but it's not going to go all the way down because the confidence is not there in certain currencies. So my opinion is it's going to continue to rise. It's going to continue to rise, but even if it does pull back, not financial investment advice, but right now, just in 24 hours, we're looking at a 1%, and 24 hours just in gold. And 24 hours, you're looking up, over 4.92% in silver. In the last 3 days, it's up 3%. in 3 days. Gold is up 1.46%. So we're looking at some things like that. Also, United Healthcare stock. Now, United Healthcare stock did a pullback, a 20% pullback based upon things already. And you got to understand, as far as saturation, you think the market is saturated as it relates to gold and silver, but you have to ask yourself this question. Number one, do you have confidence in the currency that you hold? Most of the wealthy people do not have current confidence in the currency they hold. Therefore, that's why gold and silver continues to rise. And in my opinion, it will continue to rise based upon that. So you got to ask yourself this question. What do you think the confidence would be in as it relates to that? Now, I'm sorry, y'all. I'm looking at a couple of things. And as I'm looking at this, but you got to ask yourself, what do you think the confidence will be in on that? So for me personally, first of all, if you're not hit the like button, go ahead and hit the like button. Subscribe to the channel, it costs you nothing. Hit the notification bell. This is UlearnwithRobert. I talk about stocks, crypto, also travel. But as it relates to anything, I'm pushing you all towards independence and freedom and finances. This is not financial or investing advice. But as it relates to anything, we're looking at some things that are happening right now. So why is the market making a funk? What's going on with the market? So let's talk about United Healthcare and why United Healthcare had a pullback. United Healthcare is sitting at a 20% pullback based upon situations as it relates to some things. There was a cyber situation in their accounts, cyber, and they had a situation as it relates to that. That's what caused United Healthcare to pull back. Also, the confidence in the stock. Now, personally speaking, I think healthcare in the long term is a good buy. It's not financial or investment advice, but they don't have confidence in that based upon that. You got to understand, some people are looking at what's going on, but I believe healthcare stocks long term will be something that people will, hey, what's up, disaster specialist? Welcome in, welcome in, welcome in. So I believe long term, healthcare will be something people, they need. So think about it. Think about the residual outlooks and what happened in 2020 as it relates to that. Now, I'm not a medical doctor giving financial or medical advice, but some people they're going to continue to need healthcare. So why is the stock, why is United Healthcare, why would it drop 2% this year, down 439 billion? Well, there's a lot of insurance situations happening. People are losing their jobs. And as it relates to insurance, people are losing their jobs. And when they lose their jobs, they don't have insurance. So as it relates to that, there's a sell-off because some people don't believe that it's profitable. My personal opinion is long term, in my opinion, is profitable. My opinion is long-term healthcare should be profitable. There's some things going on in the market with Amazon Fresh. So if you don't know about Amazon Fresh, this is not advice about Amazon Fresh. This is not necessarily as it relates. This is not an ad for Amazon, but this is what's going on in the market. Amazon doubles down on the online grocery store market. So if you have not ordered from Amazon Fresh, I mean, I think it's pretty cool. You can go on the app, order it, go ahead and order some things and things like that. So company will close Amazon Go and Amazon Fresh physical stores and prioritize investments in growth areas. So the physical stores will be, hey, Susan, how you doing? How you doing? The physical stores with Amazon, they're thinking about closing those particular stores. And what they're going to do as it relates to closing those particular stores, they're going to double down as it relates to the actual aspect of, on the app, because more people are going on the app anyway. Amazon owns Whole Foods, so more people are going on in the Amazon app and going to Whole Food stores or whatnot. But the Amazon Fresh company, they're pretty much going to accelerate the fast delivery options. So if you ever order from Amazon Fresh, you can go on the app, click, and within a certain amount of time, you can get your food delivered quickly. So I personally like how it, benefits, if I'm busy on the go, if I'm out of state or something like that for a bit on a business trip, I can just go into my app and I don't have to go anywhere. I can just order my stuff and it's there. That's what I do like about that product. So my opinion as it relates to Amazon, I like Amazon long term because of Amazon with their ability for people with the Amazon Prime. I like the ability for Amazon as it relates to their stock and their continued increase as it relates to their quick delivery. Because I'm not going to be funny with you, but there's a lot of other delivery places that are not necessarily that great. They kick your packages, they put your packages elsewhere, and unfortunately, as it relates to that, that's what happens. So my opinion, they have the same day delivery. It goes quick. So when it comes to Amazon and why I believe the stock will increase, not financial investment advice, because you got to understand grocery delivery was big back in 2020. I still do believe we're getting into a process and procedure in which that would be big as well. Think about there's some states who went through the snowstorm. So think about it. There's some people who want to earn money and they're going to continue to do what they got to do to make sure their family is taken care of. So their delivery system is going to continue to allow them and do what they need to do. Okay. So it's going to continue to do what they allow them to do. So as it relates to anything, you have to understand Amazon is putting people in a position to win long term. Now, as it relates to their situation with orders, there's a lot of people who still actually order from Amazon. Actually, a lot of people still order from Amazon just on the order standpoint. So, that's a lot of things that are going on with the Amazon app. So if you order from Amazon, let me know. Let me know if you like Amazon, if you like it. Now, there's a lot of things going on in the country as it relates to this major snowstorm. It was a major snowstorm as it relates to the country that pretty much dumped over 12 inches in certain areas or more, and they're probably going to get hit more. So you got to understand as it relates to anything that when it comes to snowstorms, you got to understand there are companies that benefits like Generac. Generac is a generator place that makes generators and things of that nature. Of course, healthcare. Unfortunately, there's going to be some people who just don't believe, that things happen. So what if somebody's stranded on the road? What if people are stranded in their homes? You got to look at those type of things. Generators, you got to look at diesel, natural gas, things of that nature tend to go up. People tend to heat their homes more hotter when it comes to those particular aspects. Now, as it relates to what's going on in the crypto market, like I said, this is not financial investment advice, but right now we're looking at crypto. Bitcoin sitting at $88,346.09. $88,346.09 is down 2% on 2.41% on the 7-day average. It is up 0.83 on the 1-hour average. Now, one thing I always tell people that volume precedes price. Volume precedes price as it relates to crypto. So you got to understand a couple of things. Yes, there's a lot of situations going on with BRICS nations, Brazil, Russia, India, China, and South America. There's a lot of things going on with that situation. So the confidence in what people say are the dollar's weakened. If you look at the World Economic Forum, they talked about a lot of things as it relates to what's going on in the market. As it relates to a push, Jamie Dimon talked about a push towards digital currency. If you looked at Canada, they talked about a push towards the new world. We're not even going to say the other word, but you got to understand there's a lot of things that are happening. So Ethereum is sitting at $2,986.56. My opinion is long term, people are still going to digital. Now, they have over $3 trillion market cap on cryptocurrency. So my opinion is just because people are in the fear right now, they're in the fear right now as it relates to crypto. They're fearful. They're not necessarily buying, but you have to understand when others are fearful, as Warren Buffett said, you should be greedy, not financial investment advice. XRP is sitting at $1.90 right now, $1.90. So as it relates to anything, we got to ask ourselves this question. Are we going to be fearful or are we going to be greedy? So ask yourself that question as it relates to anything. What are you going to do on these moments? So there's some people come here and say, I don't know what's going on. The market is low. I'm scared to invest in the market. I don't know where to start. And that's a great thing. This is UlearnwithRobert. I talk about stocks, crypto, and travel and I break down things to the simplest form so that you can understand. So if I'm someone that you could get along with as it relates to that, I'm going to keep it real and keep it to the point. Go ahead and hit the subscribe button, hit the notification bell so that you can be abreast of the next time I go live. So when it comes down to what's going on as well, you watch the news as it relates to weather, and there's going to be more weather storms. So what do I believe that Generac, that company, what do I believe is going to happen long term in the winter month? I think it'll be fine. I think that'll be fine. What's up? What's up, Life with Tashiria? Hey, how you doing? How you doing? How you doing? Welcome in, welcome in, welcome in. Hey, Brown, how you doing? How you doing? How you doing? Thanks so much for showing support. Appreciate you, appreciate you, appreciate you. So I believe the long-term value as it relates to the winter situation will do well. So my opinion is long-term, as it relates to long-term, y'all. Sorry, let me get some water. As it relates to long-term, I believe it will be doing well. What's up? What's up? What's up? So the people who know me know I've been talking about gold and silver for a long time. Know I've been talking about the increase of gold and silver. In my opinion, it will continue to go up. It actually exceeded my expectations. I thought $55 was the cap, and it will pull back a little bit and then go up. Y'all, it's already at over $110. So my opinion is the confidence in certain things is not there. That should tell y'all something. The confidence in certain things is not there. So my opinion to you is plan accordingly, not financial investment advice. Not financial investment advice. So there's a lot of things going on right now with the nor'easter storm. So if you're in a situation where you are in, New York and New Jersey, you're being hit with a nor'easter storm. They're pretty much having to dig out people. There's a lot of things going on. A lot of things as it relates to other storms. What's up, Model Lord? A lot of things going on as it relates to a push towards, the atmosphere and things like that. So be careful if you're in those states. Even if you're not in those states or you're in, states that could be hit, keep yourself in a position as it relates to, the things that you need, like candles, lights, blankets, things for emergency power, things of that nature. So be careful as it relates to that, because you don't know if the storm will hit. If some people have reported that they've been in areas they didn't think a storm was hit, and then they went to the store and there was nothing there. So all I'm saying to y'all is make sure you have the basic necessities as it relates to this winter. In my opinion is you should have those things in your vehicle. My opinion. That's just my opinion. You should have some things in your vehicle, and you should have some things as it relates to, being prepared in your homes, emergency food, water, things like that. Just the regular things. So what is my opinion with the market? Let's talk about GM stock. GM stock pulled back. GM stock, their earnings beats announcements because of a $6 billion buyback. But GM is saying that they had a hit with EV companies. They had a hit with EV. Now, my personal opinion, I am invested in EV companies. My personal opinion is this. I'm just going to say it like this. The world is going to EV no matter how anyone likes about it. It may not be this term or next term, but in the next 10 years, the world will be going to EV. So Warren Buffett has a saying, buy when others are, he said buy when there's blood in the streets, but, he's referring for the algorithm, he's referring to buying when everybody else is concerned. My saying is this. When everybody else is running away, we run towards. We're like metaphorical firefighters, okay? When everybody's scared of something, we run towards it with caution. Firefighters don't go in a building without their gear on, right? And what do I mean by gear? You have to understand how the stock moves. What is it going to happen? When is it going to happen? So how do you understand those things? Number one, you understand those things are going to happen by this. Number one, first thing you do, you look at what time of year is it? Okay, so let's talk about cruise industry, right? Cruise, more people are going to go on a cruise. The Jay Jordan just came from a cruise. I just came from a cruise. Understand more people are going to go on a cruise in the summer months, right? So when it's hot, there's people who are going to go on a cruise. However, if you're people who are like in New Jersey, New York, in the wintertime, there's retirees who just go on cruises because it's cold and they live on cruise ships. But the vast majority of people are going to go on cruise in the summer months, in the spring, summer, and fall, not winter, right? So understand in the wintertime, it'll start to taper off. not financial investment advice. As it relates to utility companies, understand you have to have utilities unless you are off the grid. Most people have to have utilities. Tashiri is speaking with Lori speaking together, Brown Sweet speaking. Okay, y'all. So understand that's what happens as it relates to that. No matter what, you got to have lights, right? You got to have lights. So no matter what's going on in your situation, you have to have lights. And if you don't, you're going to be in the dark. What does your boy say? Turn off the lights and light a candle. You're going to be doing that. Turn off the lights and light a candle. So as it relates to EV, man, they call for a higher profit ahead. GM pushes stock to a new record as car maker calls for a higher profit ahead. So pretty much they boosted his dividend and announced a new $6 billion buyback. They're saying the 2026 profit is between 13 to 15 billion, which could compare to 12.7 billion in 2025. So the stock jumped based on that. They're pretty much talking about a lower volume of EV on the GM side. General Motors talking about earnings guidance is between $11 and $13. So my opinion is right now, people are not pushing EVs. However, understand EVs will still be the way of the future no matter how and what people like. It's just going to happen. I'm just telling y'all, EVs will be the way of the future no matter what. I'm telling you. The next 10 years, mark my word for it, EVs will be the wave of the future. So when everybody else is running, not financial investment advice, but it's starting to look at certain EV plays that could do potentially longer. Well, what about Tesla? Tesla's doing good. You learn, Robert. What about Tesla? Tesla's an EV company. Yeah and no. And the reason I say yeah and no, because Tesla's stock price right now, we got to look at a couple of things. Hey, what's up, fish dude? That's why more electric vehicle is going under. Nobody's buying them anymore. Stock is down. Nobody wants. And you know what? I'm going to say it like this. I wouldn't disagree, but you have to understand the whole term. Now let's look at this. I'm not a person who promotes politics. Okay. I'm not that guy, but I want to help you to understand something. One party was saying EV, the other party was saying no EV. Okay? If the other party was in, EV would be booming. What I'm telling you is this. EV is going to be what it's going to be no matter what. I'm just telling you. Now, Fish Dude, not financial investment advice, but in 10 years, we're going to have this conversation again, and we're going to see who's right on that. Okay? I hope and pray that you are you're looking at this from a standpoint of what the powers to be want. We're going to leave it like that. So I understand what people don't want, but you have to understand what they're pushing. That's all I'm going to say on that. I'm going to let you read between the lines on that one. Okay. But let's talk about Tesla stock. Tesla stock is sitting at $439.19. I just talked about EV, and I said that, EV is going to be the way of the future no matter what, what people think about it. Okay. Understand Tesla is not necessarily an EV company. Tesla has the Optimus robot. Now, I said it before. I said it years ago that robots will start taking jobs. AI will be the way of the future. You can go on my last lives. You can go in previous lives of 1 to 2 years ago, and you'll hear me say EV. You'll hear me say, robots, and you'll hear me say, as it relates to AI. Okay, so AI and robots are up. I'm telling you. Unfortunately, there's going to be a lot of people who are going to start pushing robotic technology, period. They have robot nurses. They have robot doctors. They have robot cars. So anybody in the car industry, they got robot things that can go up on their car and move a car. They're already doing that now. They have robots who can complete surgeries. They were doing that 10 years ago, really, with robot surgeries. There's just a doctor got it joystick, and people didn't realize the doctor was just programming the robot. That's a whole nother subject. Okay, so Tesla, you got to understand, has the Optimus robot. There's a lot of companies who would rather have a robot do certain things, like a robot security officer. like a robot waitress. Look at Tesla as it relates to them having a little Tesla kitchen and things like that. All that was a test case to show employers that, hey, we can do this. Hey, what do you need it to do? Okay, let's fine tune these things that you need. It's just a use case scenario to get data so that employers can see, oh man, well, can this robot fry chicken? Or can this robot bread chicken? Okay, can this robot serve? Can this robot touch hot plates? Can this robot sweep? All it is every single aspect of what happens for robotics, they're programming it now. So my opinion, I had a robot surgery. Thank God I made it safe. Amen. Thank God you made it safe. That's what I'm talking about. Thank God. See, Brown Sweet had a robot surgery. Thank God she made it safe. That's what she just said. So, I mean, I can't make it up, y'all. You got to understand, robots don't get tired. And when robots are down, they have robot technicians. However, I saw something, it was a 60 Minutes interview, and I just bust out laughing because I've been saying this. They showed it a car manufacturer with a robot, right? And this robot was being self-guided. God put on these gloves. They put on these gloves and they were doing motion. And what happened is they had an AI model with 1,000 robots trying to do the motion. And they were showing some of the robots, you know, it was an AI model in the system. They were showing some of the robots trying to do that motion, falling, some of the robots having a hard time, but then other robots started to get it. So then what happened in the language, they saw this is what repetitive motion these robots did to get it. So then they programmed the other robots to do that same motion. And then they worked out the kinks that way. So understand, y'all, some people are going to be in trouble. So the confidence of why gold and silver continues to rise is because, unfortunately, a lot of people are not confident in currency. They're just not. Not financial investment advice, but I'm telling you, that's all I'm going to say. That's all I'm going to say. I'm just going to look at you like this. Right? So a lot of things are going on. Hey, if y'all have a Keurig, oh my goodness, Keurig, they have a K-Cup coffee pod recall. Man, that's wild. Not the K-Cups. No. Let's see what's going on with the K-Cups. Keurig owners, that's in India. Okay. Should their K-Cups before preparing them. Okay. They showed their K-Cups. Oh my God. Tennessee-based Keurig Dr. Pepper has voluntarily recalled more than 80,000 of its McCafe premium roast decaf coffee K-Cup pods. So they're distributed in Indiana, California, and Nevada. So if you have a K-Cup, if you have a Keurig machine and you have K-Cups, the Keurig pods that are McCafe based, McCafe premium roast coffee, check those out. Look at the back of them. Make sure that it does not have, it wasn't made in India, California, Nevada, because there's a recall on those K-Cups. So be careful as it relates to that, okay? They have a recall on that. So the affected cartons, I'm going to read this, okay? So I won't get it wrong. It says affected cartons include the following details. Best by dates, 17th of November, 2026, LA, HH, semicolon, MM, space, PL070, 5321 or 5322. There's a batch number. Batch number 510-156-4894. There's a material number 500-358463. A ASIN number B07GCNDL91. So it's Bravo 07, G is in goat, C is in Charlie, N is in Nancy, D is in Delta, L is in Lima, 91. Okay, so if you're in those positions and you bought those popular K-Cups, please be in a position that you're paying attention. Popular canned good tuna recalls, customers needs to know. Oh my God, canned tuna? Tuna, I don't want no darn tuna. If you know, you know. That was from a Martin episode. So Tri-Union Seafood statement said that there's a recall of a previous. Wow. So there's a recall of canned tuna. So The Genovia yellowfin tuna in olive oil. Be careful. The 5-ounce 4-pack. So it looks like it's all the wow. So the issue date, best of use date, January 21st, 2028. The other one is January 24th, 2028, and January 17th, 2028. So be careful. If you have that canned tuna there, take a look at it, okay? I want y'all to be careful. So UPS stock. Wow. UPS stock delivered earnings for the fourth quarter results, and it rises. So understand the stock rises based upon its fourth quarter results. Y'all got to understand. Think about it. You got Christmas. You got New Year's. You had that whole Thanksgiving holiday. Of course, they beat earnings expectations. A lot of people don't know that a lot of Amazon packages are delivered by UPS and FedEx. So, of course, they beat earnings expectations. It was 4% higher at $111.50. So I understand why they're going to beat guidance on that. Now, this is not financial investment advice. My personal opinion as far as UPS, the holiday season is over. So I anticipate there being a situation as it relates to a pullback in deliveries. So that may be a situation and scenario in which the stock pulls back. All right, so something going on with Amazon. Amazon shares stall as job cuts loom. Man, we just talked about Amazon. Amazon shares stall as job cuts loom. $35 billion in AI spending. Y'all, did we not just talk about, I just saw this article. Did we not just talk about Amazon earlier for those who are here and the people are coming in? And we just talked about, as it relates to Amazon, we just talked about the situation as Amazon going AI. We talked about AI. We talked about delivery. We talked about them cutting stores, right? And I'm just looking at this article, right? So Amazon CapEx surged 55%. Amazon yield is 4.1. Okay, cool. So they have a layoff. Bottom line, due to AI. That's just the bottom line of the article. I just told y'all, and I just saw this article. I just told y'all there will be a situation with layoffs compared to AI. I said it before. If you go back probably about 8 to 10 lives ago, you will see me talking about layoffs before they happen. My members can look in the membership and see me talking about layoffs. I talked about layoffs in companies, and there will continue to be more layoffs. I talked about that before. So it's not anything new to my members, but to the other people, it's new. Okay. So roughly 27,000 jobs were cut in 2022. Wow. The largest amount in history, because there were over 30,000 jobs. They're cutting 14,000 white-collar jobs in October. So Amazon cut 14,000 white-collar jobs in October, and then they cut a total of 30,000 jobs. Y'all, that's more than 2022. And I keep telling y'all, just like Walmart cut jobs. They cut jobs, and those jobs are not coming back because of AI. Y'all, you need to start thinking. This is not like, I want you to imagine the days when the Industrial Revolution and they started with horse and buggy, right? What's up, village? And I want you to imagine they have a horse and buggy and someone comes out with a train. I want you to imagine the people who are making money doing horse and buggy, doing, we're going to do what we need to do, horse and buggy. And then they say, hey, we have a train now that holds more people and goes faster than the horse and buggy. I want you to imagine the people who lost jobs on that end, right? Now I want you to imagine trains, and then I want you to imagine planes and the amount of people who transition from riding a train to flying in planes, right? So we have to understand, as technology shifts, we have to shift with technology or be left behind. Learn the technology. If you notice on my channel, I've been using things to help create things so that we can be in a better position, okay, as people, okay? Understand, there's a guy a long time ago, he said, you can't beat the machine. You can't beat the machine, so what that means is the machine's going to always move when you sleep, okay? Understand that, all right? So how can you prepare for what's coming? If you look, I did a live stream probably about 11 to 12 months ago. I'm doing great, Village. I hope you are doing wonderful, bro. I did a live stream about, it might have been a year ago, talking about the recession. Man, what's the delivery fee for that? Delivery. Hey, appreciate that gift, model Lord. Thank you so much for sending a floating heart. Delivery fee for what? What are we talking about? Brown Sweet. What delivery fee for which one? Please explain. I've been going in. So delivery fee for what? Hey, Browns is talking to you. Excuse me, Village Food is talking to Browns. So what delivery fee for what? I'm sorry, did I miss something? Paul, what's up? How you doing? I'm looking through the chat. I don't know what the delivery fee was. Okay, so I'm sorry. I might have missed something, Brown Sweet. So as it relates to anything, we got to understand what's going on, okay, in the market. You're probably talking about an AI robot. Now, there was a robot. I was looking at a young lady on her and her husband, and they're getting this robot, and I thought about it, but then I said no, and I'm gonna tell you why I said no. The reason why I did not get this particular robot, it was 20,000 up front, or 598 a month, or 498 a month. I was like, okay, I'll pay $4.98 a month and get a robot, clean my house, do other things around, chores. And if it can't do the chores, and I can get them to remote live, and they can actually do something. I thought I can get them to do that, and that'll help me out tremendously. But I'm gonna tell you one reason why I chose not to get that robot. Number one, they said you had to waive your right to privacy. What you talking about, Willis? So you gonna have a robot walking through my house, and you can remote in at any time? I don't think so. And I gotta waive my right to privacy, so I can be in there, in my room, in the restroom, robot come busted. No, that sounds suspect. I'm good on that. You know what I'm saying? So be careful. So Amazon, as it relates to anything, and I don't know if y'all are familiar with Amazon. Amazon had something where, because I talked to my parents, they have it in the city they stay in, where you can put a mat in your yard. It's like a bullseye or something. They send you something, and it can deliver your package down. So I told my mom and dad, I said, hey, why don't you get it done? Just record it, or I'll come over there. I'll get to where you are, come over there, and then I'll order something to record it. But they was like, I don't want no robot delivering nothing to me. My mom was like, nah, I'm good. I don't want that. So there's going to be some people who face backlash among that, but let's just be honest. Let's imagine you're in New York. It has just snowed. People can't get to you, and you can order something via robot, and it can deliver. Now, if the winds are high and things like that, probably not. Because I don't know if you saw this, but there was a robot delivery little buggy. They have one at Chick-fil-A, and they have one for Amazon, but it got struck by a train because it stopped on the track. But I want you to imagine you're sitting somewhere, and then a robot comes to deliver to you. Now, I'm going to be honest with you. I'm okay with it, personally, because it saves time and convenience. Now, here's the thing. I don't want anyone to lose any jobs. I think that's horrible. What I'm saying is, here's the caveat for convenience factor, okay? So if you shift some people to do other work, whereas a robot can do other work, I can understand. But the personal opinion is there's going to be issues that happens, and unfortunately, it's going to be a horrible situation as it relates to job loss, unfortunately. So if you're in a situation where of course, I see a lot of content creators in here and other people in the background. If you're in a situation where you are trying to create content, or trying to, put yourself in a position to win long-term, especially on social media, continue to do it. And big shout outs to Mary Lou. I was in her chat earlier today. Appreciate you, because that's why I'm live. So you said, what was a win today? Y'all thank Mary Lou, because I was going to post a video, but I wasn't going to go live. So two defense innovators. So let's talk about what's going on. It's some two defense innovators rally on a $151 billion contract with a key caveat. So A lot of things going on in that minute. Hey, what's up? What's up? What's up, Coach JV? Appreciate you, Coach. Hey, Coach, how you doing? How you doing? How you doing? So the Missile Defense Agency, Carmen Holdings, and Redwire. That's KRMN, Kilo Romeo Mike November, and Redwire Romeo Delta Whiskey. They're having some situation for a self-defense enterprise shield. So pretty much short version of a long story, they're doing some things for this particular company, and they are rising because they're going to help Donald Trump with the Golden Dome. So remember, y'all, I'm not a political person, but one thing I keep telling y'all is this: do not be so caught up in the person and not understand where the money's going. Hear me clearly. Don't be so caught up in the person and not put yourself in a position to win where the money's going, okay? So where's the money going, you learn? I just told you, not financial investment advice. But Carmen Holdings surged and Redwire rocketed higher Tuesday after Missile Defense Agency selected this firm as a part of a $151 billion aerial defense program. Y'all, I'm giving you the game. I'm giving you the game. Not financial investment advice. But long term, Carmen Holdings and Redwire are going to help with the Golden Dome. So those two companies are going to continue to win because they're going to continue to get profit. My members know this. My members know this. The people who are in the membership, you know this. I put something up in the membership. When was it? Trump has been in office for over a year now. I put something up when Biden and Trump was going to the final stages. And I said, here's what Biden would do if he win. Here's what Trump would do if he won. And then the whole situation with Kamala and Trump, I said, I'm not going to change it because they got the same policies. Biden and Kamala got the same policies, so there's no need to change it. Then the members, if you go back in, you'll see me posting something. And I said, here's what Trump's going to do. And I had certain companies on there and I had certain things as it relates to the position that we're in right now. Now, if you can read between the lines, what is it good for? Absolutely nothing. Sing it, y'all. Huh. Good God, y'all. What is? If you know, you know. So those things are going to continue to happen, unfortunately. And these companies are going to continue to win because that's something that we have to make sure that we are put in a position to, understand. Okay. You may not agree with it. I'm not saying if you do, this is not about anything as it relates to I agree or I disagree. This is not anything about politics. This is something about positioning yourself to win, especially when your portfolio is volatile. Hey, I appreciate you, Brown Sweet. Thank you so much for coming in. And I appreciate you, Coach JV, Model Lori, Village TV, Paul, let's see, Fish Dude, Life With, Susanna, Disaster Specialist, World, Jamia. So anybody else who's in the bushes, I appreciate you all as well. Lisa in the building, Lisa J in the building. So yes, if you notice, I talked to y'all about silver. Okay. I talked about silver and gold a long time ago, and people, unfortunately, didn't listen. Some people won't listen, some people didn't. Some people listened, some people didn't. Some people listened, some people didn't. Some people listened, some people didn't. I want to tell y'all something else. And if you listen, you listen. You don't, you don't. Not financial investment advice. If you listen, you don't, you don't. Not financial or investment advice. I told y'all silver would rise. I told you gold would rise. Copper, I told y'all in the membership, copper would rise. And as you see, copper broke some records. Okay. Aluminum is going to rise. Y'all, there's a lot of things that's going to continue to rise, especially with this debacle we have ourselves in. Okay. So make sure you are diversifying your portfolio. Make sure you're putting yourself in to win, because I told y'all, look, it's documented, y'all. Look at my prior lives, and I mentioned it's documented. It's documented. Before any of these gurus is talking about silver and gold, 2021 is the video I talked about silver and gold, and I told you it would be a silver squeeze. It's there. So I can't be, oh, I'm a genius now. I told y'all, I be telling the brother stuff. I'm ahead of the curve. It is what it is. Okay. You like it, you like it, don't. Okay. So it is what that is. Okay. So understand there's a lot of things that are going on as it relates to that. Okay. Understand it's going to continue to go up because of market confidence. A lot of people are not confident in the market. Understand. Understand that. Okay. So, and I want y'all to understand this too. I'm not trying to call anybody out as it relates to, being mean or anything like that. That's not my, and I'm sorry, I'm looking down at my notes. That's not my, that's not my intent. I'm just letting y'all know there's a lot of people who say stuff after the fact and they haven't said anything. Okay. And it's okay for people to react on information after the fact. But the thing is, and I'm going to say this to everyone, we have to make sure that we're ahead of the curve. It's kind of like a GPS, y'all. Okay. So imagine if you got your GPS on, Model Lori, Lisa J, Brown Sweet Coach, you got your GPS on, and it says, hey, there's a traffic blockage ahead, rerouting. And you say, nah, I don't want to reroute. And then you go up a little bit more. And you say, man, it's a lot of traffic. And it says there's traffic ahead, rerouting. And it tells you it's an hour delay. So you say, nah, I don't care about the traffic. I'm going to keep going. And then you go up and you're stuck in traffic. And you're mad because you're stuck in traffic. But the GPS told you there was a traffic stir up, pile up ahead, and there was a delay. And you didn't listen. Y'all, God gives us a lot of opportunities a lot of the times, and we fail to listen a lot of the times. Why do we fail to listen? I don't know. Okay. I don't know. But in the words of your boy, I ain't mad at you. I ain't mad at you. I ain't mad at nobody. So here's the thing that we got to look at as well, guys. One thing we got to look at as well. Okay. We talked about silver and gold. We talked about a couple of stocks, and let's talk about a plan. What is your plan? If you look at a live, I'm telling y'all, I literally said this a year and a half. I said this 2 years ago, even then, saying start to prepare. What is your plan for a collapse, a market pullback? What is your plan? What are you going to do? Now, I'm not trying to invoke fear because that's not my thing. What are you going to do if the market pulls back more than 30, 40%? Do you have a plan? Are you positioning your portfolio in a way so that when there's a market pullback, you'll be in a position to win? Are you still a dollar cost averaging into certain stocks? Because here's the thing, mark my words, and I'm going to say this. Guess what, y'all? The Magnificent Seven, when there's a pullback, they're going to get hit hard too. So all the people that's talking about Mag 7 stocks are going to be hit hard. Why? Because those are the stocks that are pulling the market forward. So when these stocks decrease rapidly, of course, the other stocks are going to stroll down as well. There's going to be a lot of stop loss in the market. There's going to be a lot of halts in the market. And what I'm telling you is you have to position your portfolio accordingly. I've always talked about the next 5 to 10 years, position your portfolio the next 5 to 10 years. I've always talked about that. The reason why I talked about silver and gold is because it's a hedge of protection against inflation. Silver and gold is also a hedge of protection as it relates to where the market is going. I keep telling y'all the market's still going to EV regardless of what people think. Next 5 to 10 years, come see me, report back on this live if I'm wrong. It's going there no matter how you feel about it. Okay. EV uses those particular components. Okay. Well, what if I'm wrong with that? AI uses certain components, gold, silver, and copper. So understand these things continue to rise because of these things. So we got to ask ourselves this question. Are we going to put ourselves in a position to win? Or are we going to put ourselves in a position to fail? We got to ask ourselves this question. Long term, what do you want your portfolio to be? And also, here's the thing, y'all. We cannot put our portfolio weighted on certain things so much that if there's a collapse, we miss out on everything. Think about it, y'all. What if the BRICS nations succeed? I hope they don't. I mean, I have people all over the world who watch me, but I'm just being honest because I stay in the U.S. So I'm just going to be real with you because I stay in the U.S. I do travel out, outside the country and things of that nature. And I love, other countries and beautiful atmosphere and landscape and things like that. But what if that succeeds, y'all? Ask yourself this question. How does that do? How does that deal with your portfolio? What types of things will happen with your portfolio? And I'm not trying to be the doom and gloom person. I'm not trying to be here to, I'm just the guy who's, I'm just telling y'all stuff, and I hope it ain't scaring folks. I'm just telling you something before it happens. So when it happens, then guess what? I can just be like, I said something a long time ago, right? So here's the thing, though. We have to ask ourselves the question. Sorry, y'all. We have to ask ourselves the question of, are we just still going to sit on the sideline and not do anything? Well, you learn. What are you doing? Well, this is not financial investment advice, but I'm glad you asked. Here's the thing, y'all. What we have to do is this. Warren Buffett, Berkshire Hathaway, y'all. Berkshire Hathaway has $344 billion of cash reserves. Hear me clearly. Berkshire Hathaway has $344 billion in cash reserves. So why, first of all, why is Warren Buffett going to go ahead and retire now? He's old, but now all of a sudden he's going to retire. I want y'all to go back to something. Number one, Warren Buffett said, and I quote, he don't believe in digital stuff. He don't like digital. But if you look at the World Economic Forum, Jamie Dimon talked about push to digital. My personal opinion is he doesn't want to deal with digital stuff. He don't believe in it, so he's going to go ahead and bow out gracefully. But he has almost a $400 billion stock cash pile. So my opinion is you should have cash in reserves to be able to jump in the market when the market shifts. You should be able to do that. That's my opinion, number one. Number two, my opinion is this. You should also not just be out of the market because you're fearful of a market pullback. I'm still in the market. I'm still buying stuff in the market. However, I do know the market will pull back. So you learn, that's crazy. Why would you do that? Because understand this. When you're making a soup, for instance, for people who like soup, let's use a broccoli. Let's use a vegetable soup. Let's just use a vegetable soup, right? You don't just put one bean in it. You might have, two different kind of beans and about 3 or 4 different kind of vegetables in the soup. What's up, Lisa? You may have about 3 or 4 or 5 vegetables in the soup. Then you may have beef broth, chicken broth, a vegetable broth, right? As it relates to anything, you're not just sitting there just in a position to lose. Meaning, I'm just going to put vegetable broth in some water, put some salt and pepper, and drink it. Now, some people might do that, but I won't be eating at your house. Just saying. But, you go ahead and cut up your potatoes, chop them up, wash them, wash the starch off, boil the potatoes, right? You get your okra if you like okra. You cut up your carrots if you like carrots, right? You get your diced tomatoes and cut up your tomatoes, right? You get all the ingredients that you like. You chop it up, chop up your onions, right? You saute your mushrooms if you like mushrooms and onions. You saute that stuff up, right? And then you put it in your crock pot and you let it simmer all day. You put your vegetable beef broth in there. You season it up. You put your oregano, thyme, basil leaves. You put all that stuff in there and let it season and get all gooey and goodness. So when you open the pan, you're just in a position of awe. What am I saying? Every portfolio should be balanced with other things. Cash reserves, gold and silver, crypto, ETF, stocks, not financial investment advice. But you should have a balanced portfolio. Now, here's the thing. There are some people watching me because I look at my analytics who's older, and there's some people who are real young. So I have a lot of age groups who watch me. So, of course, a 60-year-old is not going to put all of their money in high-risk assets. And I wouldn't recommend an 18-year-old put all their money in high-risk assets. However, an 18-year-old is going to have a better risk tolerance than a 65-year-old. So understand what your time horizon is. Some people are looking at 5 to 10 years to mature on certain things, and it's okay. But some people are at the age where they can't wait 5 to 10 years. They can't wait that time frame, right? So you have to ask yourself, number one, how old am I? I don't know how old you are. So how old are you, number one? Number two, how long do I have to wait until this matures? Number three, what is my current strategy? Well, I got a 401k, you learn, and I'm fine. Okay. Well, I'm just going to say this, not financial investment advice. My opinion is this, okay? You do have a 401k, but the question you have to ask yourself is this question. Do they get paid if you make money or not? I'm going to take a drink of water there. Does your 401k get paid if you make money or not? They do. They do. It's loaded. They get a fee if they make you money or not. They get a fee no matter what. So, and you might be able to call an 800 number and talk to a person, but if you ask them a specialized, specific question, they're not going to give you the answer. Now, let's talk about people who have financial advisors. Yes, you pay them to do those type of things, and they are going to answer more specific questions. However, the question I have for you is this. How many people trust financial advisors and they don't actually do it? They don't do it. Exactly. The fees are guaranteed. The performance is not. Exactly. So how many people have financial advisors that, saw some things where financial advisors not done the things they're supposed to do, and they still got paid or ran off with people's money? My opinion, and the reason why I believe you should learn about stocks and crypto, why I believe you should learn about gold and silver, why I believe you should learn about ETFs and stocks, why I believe about those things, why I believe you should personally learn about it, is because of this. At least if you know something about it, you know if they're pulling your chain or not. Exactly, Lisa J. Exactly. 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 So you have to ask yourself that question. You heard Lisa said she's her own financial advisor. Say so for myself as well. Too conservative. I would say so for myself. What was crazy was these financial investment advisors were telling people not to get Bitcoin. I was talking about Bitcoin under $18,000 on YouTube. But now these same people are saying getting Bitcoin and crypto. And they let it run up to over 100-something thousand and pull back. I'll wait. I'll wait. I'll wait. So you got to ask yourself this question. Are you in a position where you are trying to win? Are you in a position where you are scared to lose? Are you in a position where you're trying to win? Are you in a position where you're scared to lose? Ask yourself that question. Are you in a position where you're trying to win? Are you in a position where you're scared to lose? Ask yourself that question. No, I don't like bonds either, Lisa. I think the bond market is flooded, in my opinion, and I think they're not to be trusted. Just my opinion, not financial investment advice. I don't believe they're going to be solvent. I think they're going to be insolvent, my personal opinion, because a lot of people who have the bonds, you already know. So you have to ask yourself this question. Are you willing to put yourself in a position of power? Are you willing to put yourself in a position of power? All it takes is 5 minutes just to learn one thing a day. Just read something 5 minutes. Turn on CNBC. Turn on MSNBC. Look on Forbes. Look on routers, look on these channels and learn something. Learn something. Put yourself in a position to win, because the only person that's going to be blamed for your financial calamity is you. You can blame the 401k person, but they probably retired chilling. You can blame, why didn't they teach me when I was younger? You can blame everybody else, but the question you got to ask yourself is, why not you? Why not you take the time for yourself? I believe in you. I think you can do it. If you got a phone and you could, you know what? So my twin nieces, I got twin nieces, and let's just say they have their own tablet and they have their own phone. So I called my sister, and one of my nieces are on my sister's phone. So I'm calling. And I'm like, why am I being sent straight to voicemail? So I send my sister a text message. So my sister calls me and she said, hey, I definitely missed out on Bitcoin when it was 18,000 a few years ago. You know what, coach? I think, long term is going to be fine. I think they may try to pull it back to about 60 at the lowest. But to be honest, because BlackRock, JP Morgan Chase, Vanguard, all these State Street, all these people are in it, I don't think it's going to pull back that low. I think they're going to try to run it up, because believe you people are talking about like Kathy Woods and things like that. They still have a high target at $1.5 million per coin. So at under 100,000, let's just say if they're wrong and if it gets 300,000, 400,000, are you going to say, man, I missed out on it? You know what I'm saying? But not financial investment advice though. But my niece was like, in the background. I told my sister, I said, hey, put my niece on the phone. So I said, hey, you sending Uncle Robert the voicemail? And she just bust out laughing. She said, yes, silly. So I bust out laughing too. I just laughed. So I'm over at my sister's house, right? And I want to see my niece send me the voicemail. So she looks and she sees my hat. So she's at the age where she's spelling and stuff like that. So my sister says, hey, what does this say? And she pointed to the name. She said, Robert. I said, oh, okay. So when you see Uncle Robert, don't send me the voicemail. You know what I'm saying? So she's looking at me like, she was mad. But I was like, hey, don't send me the voicemail. So come to find out, she sent my brother-in-law the voicemail like 13 times. And when she's on her phone, she'd be like, oops, send somebody the voicemail. What am I saying? She's so interested in what she's looking at on the phone. She don't care nothing about nothing else. Now I'm using my twin niece for an example. So if my sister is watching me now, or my brother-in-law, or any of my family, don't come getting at me, because it's the truth, okay? But what I'm saying is this. Don't be like my twin niece. She just wants to play the game. And she's at the age where she's okay, where she can just play the game. That's okay. She's at that age where it's fine. I don't think she should play it as much, but hey, I'm my uncle. But she's at the age where she wants to play a game, play her tablet, and things like that. But you're at the age where we need to start transitioning some things, okay? I don't care if you're 18. I had a person in my life who was 80-something years old talking about Bitcoin. That just touched my heart right there. I was so excited. I was so excited. She's coming in my life, and I was on the other platform when she was there. But I was like, man, she would come in and it would just warm my heart. And I was like, yes. So what I'm saying to y'all is, you're not too young and not too old. What we have to do is start taking accountability for ourselves and start making moves. Because here's the thing. Last time I checked, all these billionaires on Forbes list continue to get richer. They got richer in 2020. Last time I checked, I need y'all to do some homework. I always give people homework. I need y'all to, number one, ask yourself this question. Am I willing to spend 5 minutes a day to better succeed? Number one. Am I willing to spend 5 minutes a day to better succeed? Number two, I need you to ask yourself this question. Am I going to make excuses or take accountability? Now, mind you, anybody on this live who commented, I'm not coming at y'all. So don't think I'm coming at y'all saying, oh, no. Because hear me clearly. This is not about that, okay? If you know my heart, I'm No, no. I'm not coming at anybody, okay? I'm just making reference to what we need to do going forward, okay? So am I willing to make a change? And number three, if I continue down the current path, where am I going to be? If Social Security is not there, because I'm just going to be honest, I'm not counting on Social Security. That's just me. I've already told my dad, I'm like, good and well, Social Security ain't going to be there. For me. For him, he's been retired. He's been chilling. You know what I'm saying? So I can't count on that. Okay? My dad, I'm not even gonna tell his business. He's okay. That's what I'm gonna tell you. Like him and my mom are okay. I told y'all one thing I told y'all before is they sold insurance. I sold insurance. So we're just gonna leave it like that. So based on insurance sales and things of it, they're okay. They're in a good position. Okay. So the question I'm asking you though is, what do you want to be in the next 5 years? Because as my grandmother would say, for y'all who don't know, my name is UlearnwithRobert. I talk about stocks and crypto. I travel as well, and I break it down so that people can understand. If I'm someone that can benefit from that, help you benefit from that, go ahead and hit the subscribe button. No, this is not financial investment advice. But my grandmother would say, "Hey, Robert," when I talked to her, unfortunately, she's no longer here, but she would say, "Hey, Robert, what do you know well?" And, pretty much, what have you learned today? That's pretty much what the gist of her conversation. She's country. What have you learned today? So if I didn't have something new that I've told her, she said, "No, you told me that yesterday." She would say, "Call me back when you learn something." And then she would ask me what have I learned. I would have to tell her what I've learned. And guess what she would do then? Then she would say, "Okay, what do you know this, and this?" Well, yeah. Well, what about this, and no, I didn't know that, Grandma. Okay. So she would give me some information after I gave her some information. What did you learn? And then she would take that information, research it, and then tell other people about it. Talk about my grandmother. So there's no excuse. We have no excuse. Okay. So what I'm saying to y'all is, going forward, the next 5 to 10 years, what trajectory are we going to be in? Because I'm going to already tell y'all, I'm already going to tell y'all, number one, the trajectory of where the economy is going, unfortunately, because of what the atmosphere, what's happening, it's a recession. If you look at my last lives, I was walking on the track, and I talked about a recession then. Talked about a recession prior to. I was talking about getting ready. Then I talked about before there was a recession mentioned. But anyway, what I'm really asking y'all is, the next 5 to 10 years is going to be pivotal. AI is going to be on the rise. You already got companies with artificial meat and things of that nature, but they got companies right now, they got artificial chicken, and you'll never know the difference. It's lab grown chicken, not plant-based, lab grown chicken. They got things going on that would blow your mind. Healthcare companies, they got companies that run in the dark with robots and don't need people. I'm telling you, in the next 5 to 10 years, the trajectory of where we are is going to change. So the question is, what are you willing to do about it? I want y'all to do the homework, okay? And look into those type of things. All right. But once again, this is UlearnWithRobert. I love each and every one of you. Thanks so much for coming in, tapping in. If you haven't subscribed, hit the subscribe button, hit the like button, and we'll talk to you. We'll see you in the next level of greatness. We'll see you. Bye-bye now.